Hey, what's happening? I'm DJ Hazmat,
Yeah, and I'm Matty Wills.
and welcome to the post-game edition of Matt and Matt Sports. Browns victory, Battle of Ohio, down in the jungle. No battle at all. We did what we normally do to the Cincinnati Bengals, is beat them. That's what we do to the Cincinnati
Beat them
Bengals.
down.
Beat them down. What was the score, Matty Wills? Did we hit 40 on them?
Yo. All right. I wasn't getting my monitors in, man, on some technical, man, but I'm here. The score was a lot to a little. 41-16, Cleveland wins. They even added a spicy little touchdown down at the end of the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left, where I was questioning why the hell Baker was still in the game, but it is what it is. He took a shot on that touchdown pass as well, but he zipped it in there. I honestly think that Baker wanted to make a statement and prove that he can throw touchdowns without the aforementioned, who we talked about in the halftime show, ex-receiver here in Cleveland. But, hey, big game for the Browns.
Name now.
No, we can. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to just be honest, man. The defense today had their best game. I know against Chicago, we had 9 sacks or whatever it was, but the secondary in this defense today, Troy Hill, Denzel Ward, obviously with the 99 interception return for a touchdown in the first quarter, that really kind of set the tone for this game. And then the defensive line was just in Joe Burrow's face all day. Your boy Myles Garrett showed up, had another big day.
Yes, and yes, gotta shout out Troy Hill. 3 sacks. Well, hold on, let me look up his numbers right now.
From a defensive back position, that's crazy.
Right, from a defensive back position, that is crazy. So just all around, we brought it together on all phases of the game. Maybe not special teams so much, but we didn't really need that. It was just an all around solid performance from a team that at the beginning of the year we expected to play this way. You understand what I'm saying? So it was what a coincidence that after this week of drama, the Browns end up playing in a dominant fashion and beating a team that people were this team was leading the division.
Yeah,
this was the number 1 team in the AFC North right now, and we beat them. Our records are tied right now, but we'd hold the tiebreaker against them for now because we beat them head to head.
It might be curtains for them, though, honestly. I mean, they lost to the Jets. Then this was a horrible loss for them at home. Now they're on a bye week. I don't know if they can bounce back and play this well or as well as they did in the first half of the season throughout the rest of the year. But we'll see. Baltimore certainly bounced back as they were getting whooped on by Minnesota, but they're in overtime right now. They're in overtime right now, so we don't know.
Come on, Minnesota. I have a couple friends who are Minnesota Viking fans, and I'm rooting for Minnesota to pull this out.
Yeah.
Because what we don't want is Baltimore to have this 2-game lead on us. If they lose today, they'll have a 1-game lead, and then, we haven't even played them yet. So we can take care of our own business with Baltimore. Actually, even if they do have a 2-game lead, we could just sweep them and take the lead ourselves. That would be gangster.
On the table.
That would be gangster if we did it like that. Look at the Mystery Brown says, you see the way the Browns will bounce back after dropping at home against Pittsburgh. Oh, okay. Yeah, we saw that. Stated obvious.
Yes.
I thought he was saying something profound.
We all watched it. That's what we're talking about right now. That's what we watched.
Shout out to Dakar Victoria. Defense came through. Yes, they did. But they should be coming through. And maybe they had to gel a little bit through the season to start to make the plays, because the Browns were an opportunistic defense a couple of years ago. We were, getting the turnovers.
They were one last year with the turnovers.
Right. So, that was missing from the season. That showed up today, and it definitely made the difference. So shout out to Denzel Ward, who I was kind of down on. I was just thinking maybe he's just, but what I did say about Denzel Ward was, Lisa? Just play cornerback, man. You're a pro level now. You don't have to run up and try to knock the big running backs down and show that you can tackle. Just play cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Get a pick, disrupt the pass. That's your job. You don't have to come up and try to be everything for us. You know what I mean? You're being paid to lock a dude down, and that's all you have to do. And that's what he did today. And I just appreciate his efforts today, and everybody. Newsome as well. That rookie, he's a rookie.
Yeah. Oh, he's playing great. He's playing great, man.
So we gotta give it up to them, and because here's Greedy Williams going out with the shoulder injury again.
Yeah.
Same shoulder that kept him out
Yep.
for most of the time that he's been on our team.
Bad news.
And so that, and I hate to see it because I really like Greedy Williams.
Hey, he's a good player. I thought he was playing well this year when he was on the field.
Yeah, he was.
And there were times where he was having to cover starting wide receivers when Denzel wasn't playing and stuff like that. So we also got to shout out Nick Chubb, bro. 14 carries, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, and of course the big 70-yard rumble in the second half. Yeah, Nick Chubb definitely looks like he's not injured anymore.
So remember somebody at halftime was asking, like, why don't we give D'Ernest Johnson the ball? Because we have Nick Chubb.
Got some tick and garbage time down the stretch. You know, I don't remember if it was Jim Nantz or Tony Romo, the two guys that covered the game today on TV, but
Tony Romo was definitely covering it.
One of them, I know they both were, but I don't remember who made the point of something that hasn't been talked about a lot. Kareem Hunt not being around. He really adds another dimension to the offense because we all know what he can do. Next to Nick Chubb, he's also more of the pass-catching running back, and they were highlighting it when we were down there around in the red zone, just how much of a difference maker Kareem Hunt is.
Is the Mystery Browns fan? Is the Mystery Browns fan a Bengal fan? Because he's like, look at his last two comments. First, he's like, so round one, go to the Browns. Like, what does that mean? Like, are you rooting
we
for
won
the
the first of the two games? I don't read that.
But
like
look
that.
at before he said the Browns are now no more than in third place. What is
he? I think he's just shouting out the Browns, man. That's all, man. I think he's
he's
a positive thing.
He said, no, how's saying they're no more than in third place a positive thing? I don't think that's being positive. Shout out to Lisa Boone Robertson from Raleigh, North Carolina, checking in. That's what's up.
Browns back is all over the place, man. So next week, do you know who we play?
Wait, before you just skim past this,
oh, sorry.
I have to bring up Baker Mayfield's numbers. Because
guys, the numbers that dwindled in the second half. Go ahead.
Oh my God, the numbers that you Baker haters will find any and everything.
Listen,
did he not throw a touchdown at the end of the game?
Yes, in garbage time.
Did he not throw it in garbage time?
No, it was a great throw.
Never enough.
It was a great throw to David Njoku. It was a great throw to David Njoku.
It was a great throw to a lot of people. In this game.
Look, nobody's going to look at this game and say Baker didn't play well. Of course, Baker played well.
Well, then just give him his credit. 218
I'm
yards,
just not walking into your.
He's 14 for 21.
Yeah.
He missed what? That's 6 passes. What is that? 7 passes he missed.
Mm-hmm. He only missed 1 in the first half, which is why I said it dwindled in the second half. But he did throw another touchdown late in the fourth quarter.
Man, so we were winning by so much. Those passes don't matter, man.
They don't. And again, I believe that he needed to throw touchdowns today. Just so he had a horrible week in the media and just in the media last week. He wanted to have a great week in the media this week, and he's going to have one because he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He went out there and beat the Bengals, and he played great. If anybody says that Baker didn't play well today, they're just hating on the Baker. And I'm not saying I'm not. There's not a whole lot of analysis that we can do for a game like today. We lamented how great the defense played and everybody that did well.
But I want to say this. No, before you rush off to next week, because we got to address this, man, before we put it to bed, man. This was a crazy week. We're not just going to gloss over the fact that we beat the crap out of a team. And again, coincidentally, somebody wasn't there.
Wow.
Odell Beckham Jr. was not on the field, just like you try to bring up Odell Beckham Jr. Just like you try to bring up Odell Beckham Jr. not being there when Higgins dropped the pass in the playoff game. It didn't have anything to do with Odell. He hadn't played since week 4, but you were bringing his name up. So just in a week where his name has been front page news all week long, you damn right I'm going to bring up the fact that we went out there and played like we've been expecting.
Did we play the Bengals last year without Odell?
Man,
yes or no?
Stop it. No, listen.
Did we play the Bengals last year without Odell?
Is Baker 6-1 against the Bengals in his career?
Right. Did we play the Bengals last year without Odell? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, and we beat them, right? And we scored a lot of points, right?
We've beaten them the last
Exactly.
6 out of
So
7
so
times we
you
played them.
so trotting out there and beating the Bengals is not going to make me change my stance that Odell, when used properly, makes the Browns a better
When
team.
used properly.
The only reason that I'm even talking about this right now is because you brought it up. Next
You don't want to
week,
bring it up
next week, when
because
we
you
play-
know that I'm right. I was right. Just admit that I was right
No.
about the Odell Beckham situation here in Cleveland.
Well, okay. So you want to talk about this? What am I admitting that you were right about?
That we should have never had him in the first place.
No,
and that it would cause a
I'm
disturbance.
not going to admit that. No, listen. Hindsight is 2020. We can all see that
No,
it didn't work
it was
out.
my foresight.
Okay,
sir.
but
It was my foresight.
Okay, we can all see that it didn't work out. Who with the people?
I saw that it wasn't going to work out when they brought him here. But I had hope, of course, because I want the Browns to win. And of course, if he showed out, I would love that.
And that's the only point. The people who are quote unquote, because there's this line in the sand now that people have to either side with Baker or Odell. Yeah, it is, because I'm trying to talk about the Browns and you want to keep talking about Odell.
We haven't talked about Odell.
So
you and I.
So
we haven't talked about this week. You don't get off that easy. You don't get to just skim over the fact that all of this thing that just happened. When did we talk about it?
Okay, so let's talk about it then. Let me give you my reasons for why I believe that the Browns front office mangled and botched this whole Odell experiment.
And botched it.
First of all,
kicked Cincinnati's ass. But
we won a regular season game against Cincinnati, who just lost to the Jets last week.
A very important game.
Let's not
division game.
Let's not overhype who we just beat. We beat the Bengals, who haven't made the playoffs in decades, or at least they might have one or two shots in there with Ocho Cinco and Carson. Yeah. Whatever. But they've been crap these last handful of years.
Man, and they've been going to the playoffs when they had the red
Ocho
rifle
Cinco.
When Hugh Jackson was there. Yes. But that wasn't,
I just said it. Okay, they went to the playoffs then, but they're crap now. They're terrible. I'm trying not to cuss, man.
Oh, wait a minute.
In me.
Last week,
can I say one sentence?
You keep saying crazy stuff.
But
they're
I
crap.
Can't finish saying
They were
anything.
the leaders of the AFC North, and you're saying they're crap now.
Less than halfway through the season. If we want to just start the playoffs today, then let's start the playoffs today. Unfortunately, the NFL added another regular season week, so we have to play 17 games a year, 18 NFL weeks. We have a long way to go. Let's see where the Bengals end up. My only point about not overhyping this win in terms of whether or not the relationship with Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield should have been better or not is because we beat the Bengals, bruh. We beat the Bengals. We beat the Bengals last year without Odell. We beat the Bengals just today without Odell. And it wasn't because of the offense why we won this game. I know Baker had a good game, but your defense is the reason why you won this game. Of 80% of the game, the Bengals had 10 points. If you can't score more than 10 points against the Bengals defense, you don't need to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. So the coach had a great game plan today that worked. Nick Chubb is healthy. He had 134-something yards on the ground, and it worked. Let's see how the rest of the season goes before we just deem the release of Odell, the release of Odell as something that's going to propel us forward into a Super Bowl. We beat the Bengals because the Bengals aren't a very good team, which we all saw on national TV last week when they lost to the New York Jets. Right or wrong? Okay. Did the Bengals lose to the Jets last week, yes or no? I just want to know.
But they beat the Baltimore Ravens.
Did the Bengals lose to the Jets? Okay, they beat the Baltimore Ravens and they lost to the Jets the following week. Now they have another bad loss in succession. Let's see what happens the rest of the season.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yeah, you got me arguing against something. I don't even know what I'm arguing against her for, man. You just got me out here dancing in circles because you kept cutting me off and pissing me off about Odell. Odell's not here anymore.
I know, and you're pissed. But
I'm pissed. You want to talk about this?
I don't
want to talk about this.
We haven't had a chance to talk about anything that has to do with.
Calm down.
Moving on. Let's just. Okay.
Hold on. Wait. Can I just say this I just want to say this really clearly. I just want to state my stance on this, and then you can go.
Ahead. All right.
I'm frustrated because you got me all discombobulated. Plus, I got this Christmas sale in me, so I'm probably about to start sweating here in a minute. But let me just say, this is my stance about the Odell Beckham situation, and then you can say whatever you want to say.
All right.
It didn't work. So,
Yeah.
yes, this season, Odell had to leave primarily because he committed treason against the Browns and his quarterback and just did something that you can't do as a professional athlete when you're playing a team sport. So, Odell had to go. Nobody's arguing that. My only beef, and this is my only beef, bro, not saying that we should have kept him because we couldn't keep him. My only beef is that this coaching staff, front office, and quarterback, all in unison, and Odell and the receiver, all parties involved, failed to acclimate him into the offense, failed to make him be a feature in this offense, which is something that obviously a guy like him needs in order to thrive. It didn't work. It didn't click. So he had to go. Plus, again, like I said, he committed treason, man. He threw his quarterback under the bus in the most heinous way, hiding behind, and really in a cowardly way, to be honest, hiding behind his father, posting that, and then telling LeBron to post whatever he tweeted as well. So hindsight is 2020. Yeah, we all know at this point that the Odell situation didn't work. But I don't think that it played out the way that it should have played out if everybody was truly trying to make that thing work. That's all that I'm saying. That's my stance. So say whatever you want to say, man. I know Uncle Has knew from minute one they should have never acquired Odell Beckham Jr., which this coaching staff and front office didn't make that move either, by the way. But go ahead. The floor is yours, man. More
is it
for me? Yeah.
The floor is mine. Listen, man. I just know
we just beat the Bengals, and you got me doing this, man. Come on.
This is the thing. First, before I forget this point,
yeah,
please stop trying to diminish the win that we just took place under the circumstances of everything that just took place this week. The attention that has been, the negative attention that has been brought to this team this week, the doubting of Baker Mayfield, the whose side are you on, the reports of players in the locker room that are angry that OBJ is gone. How would the Browns respond in a game that they had to win? Oh, by the way, we were underdogs in this game. According to Vegas, we were underdogs. So if you pick the Browns, you were picking an upset. So to diminish
Browns
this
came
win,
in losing 3 or 4. So
just to say, I don't see the what I'll say about the Bengals is the same thing. I'll defend the Bengals the same way I would defend the Browns when people will try to say they're the Browns. Yes, they have a losing history. Yes, the Bengals have had their issues in their history, but they are who they're trying to be who they are right now, and I respect that. And right now, today before the game started, they were the number one team in the AFC North. So you can call them the Bungles all you want and say that they suck. But up to this point, which is closely halfway through the season, they were the number one team in the AFC North.
Where do you think
this was an important game?
For sure. I don't care. Arguing that.
Listen, all I care about is where the Browns are going to finish. I don't know what
I understand that, Has, but I can still ask you a question and you still have an opinion on it. Do you think that the Bengals are going to finish a team that's going to challenge for a playoff spot or not? That's all I'm asking.
Well, what I can do for you, Maddie Wills, is promise you an answer for that after I look at their schedule and see who they have left to play and see what the matchups look like. And then I would be able to give you a more educated answer instead of just flying off the cuff as to whether I think they're going to do this or they're going to do that. Based off the information, I could give you an answer like that. But right now in the moment, nah. And the way they look today and last week, anybody could easily say, yeah, they're going to suck the rest of the year. But there's going to be
Can I give you the next 4 games?
Go ahead.
The next 4 games at Las Vegas, at home against Pittsburgh, at home against the Chargers, at home against San Francisco. They might go 2-2 through that.
I say they have 2 winnable games there. They
might go 2-2 through that. They might go 2-2 through that.
Kudos to the Browns defense, like you said, that bottled up Jamar Chase, and that's somebody that they look to now, even though, I mean, technically he's not a rookie. He sat out last year due to COVID, but we locked him up. And I got to say this as far as fantasy football, my son picked up Jamar Chase a couple weeks ago, and he's been working out for him. But my son has also been having bad luck as who he starts. Yeah. We in a 6-team league. Dudes are out there, yo. So,
but
he started Joe Burrow today.
Yeah,
Bad move.
he's Matty. I mean,
And
he's
I think,
Matty. He's
and
mad.
I just recall that my son has been complaining like every time I start somebody, they don't do well. And
Yeah.
so then I was just
Welcome to
like,
fantasy football, man.
but then I was just like, thank you for starting Joe Burrow then. Since you
Right.
have if I can believe in your bad luck streak of starting players and they have bad games, then that helped us. So
Right.
kudos to my son for starting Joe Burrow on his fantasy team, leading to Joe Burrow not having a good day. So then I will say this, as far as, and this is the last thing I want to touch on Odell Beckham. It's not even a debate about whatever. He's been released. He'll go on waivers Monday after 4 o'clock. And as far as the waiver wire order is concerned, I'll give you the list of who can claim him in the order that they can claim him, because he has to clear waivers. Because people think that Odell Beckham Jr. can just decide, you know what, I'm gonna go on over here then.
Well, I think he can in a sense, and I'll explain why after you say your piece.
Okay, so the first team that has a right to claim him is the Detroit Lions. If they claim him, then his contract is now owned by them. See, because he was still under contract. So therefore, he can't just, he's not a free agent as of right now, based on his contract. So the number one team that can claim him is the Detroit Lions. Do you think they would do it?
No.
Miami Dolphins, number 2.
No.
The Jacksonville, you're going to say no all this time.
I'm going to say no to any non-playoff team who doesn't have a good quarterback, because that's Odell's problem.
No, I'm saying it's not about what he wants to do. I'm asking you, do you think the team will claim him? It's their right to do so. It's not Odell.
Well, Odell
doesn't have a choice. Odell doesn't have a choice in this matter.
Yes, he does. And let me explain why.
Because you know what? Because they can get him as, and if you don't want to play for us, we'll use you as a trade commodity.
Right. My point is that no team is going to sign him and spend all of that money, which is what, $7 million, and from what I heard is a high amount of money to pay to a wide receiver in this kind of situation.
Number 4.
All right, but my point is, no team is going to sign him if they don't think he's going to, if they think he's going to do what he did in Cleveland.
So
he just for the last 2.5 years, he just made an example of why you shouldn't sign Odell if you're not going to use him properly.
Now you want to speak against him. Okay, so
I'm just speaking on what happened.
I'm just telling you the waiver wire. I'm going through the top 10 teams. You think he's going to clear waivers?
Signing Odell? 0% chance.
I just said, I'm only at number 4, Jacksonville.
No, I don't see it.
I don't see Jets. No. Washington football team. No. The New York Giants.
When you get to like 15,
get back to New York. He can get back to New York twice on this waiver situation.
He ain't going back to New York.
The Philadelphia Eagles. Seattle Seahawks.
I'm gonna just tell you what the same thing.
It's not his choice. I'm asking you, do you think that out of these 10 teams that I named, that not one of those 10 teams will claim him?
So in the middle of a season and you're a bad team, are you going to go and sign and pay $7 million to sign a wide receiver who just forced his way out of a situation because he was disgruntled and reportedly tore the locker room up? So what I'm saying is those teams,
it wouldn't be happy here.
It wouldn't make. Who said he would be happy? What are you talking about?
Somebody with a coach that thinks they can work it out with Odell might do it.
Yeah. He already said he wants to play for a playoff contender.
It doesn't matter what he wants.
It does. Okay. We'll see where he goes.
Clear waivers. There are 10 teams that have an opportunity to pick him.
Okay.
He has to clear waivers.
I understand. I understand your point. What I'm saying is, why would Detroit sign him? For what?
To pair him with Jared Goff. If they believe that Jared Goff can win, if they gave him better talent, they don't have any wins. It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's what I'm telling you.
Any other team, they just want him. They got him for 2 years. If they pick up his contract, he was with us for for 2 more years, right?
No, the rest of the other 2 years on his contract have been voided out.
And the same reason why the Browns would bring Odell Beckham to their team.
Okay, and then what happened? So
it doesn't matter.
I just don't see the logic.
It's not going to work out like you want to, bro.
I just don't
get his choice.
I just don't see the logic in a bad team bringing this kind of drama.
You don't see no logic in Odell Beckham other than him staying here. That's all you see.
when they're already a bad team. Is my point. He's not going to go to a bad team.
A
I'm
bad
wondering
team wouldn't want to bring in Odell Beckham.
If he goes to a bad team, I'll shave my beard.
He don't have to.
How
it doesn't matter where you go. It's a matter of these teams have first dibs on him. That's the point.
You keep saying that. I understand that.
So
what?
If they say I want him, they get him.
Okay, they're not going to say I want him though.
Why wouldn't they?
Because they're not doing anything. So why would they spend money if they're not going anywhere? Why would they spend money in the middle of a season?
They're
$7
trying
million
to get more talented so they can do something.
He's gone after the year. Has the rest of the 2 years, the other 2 years on the contract are voided. They're done. So whoever signs him only has him for the rest of this year. It's not next year, and it's not the year after that. If you sign Odell right now, you have Seattle him for 8 games. Maybe. But Seattle is a team that can still maybe go to the playoffs. They're not Detroit. They're not the Jets. Like, he's going to go to a team, in my opinion.
These teams might believe in themselves.
Okay.
Because if you're in the AFC, it's wide the freak open right now.
Okay. Hey, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Somebody wants you to define bad team for BET.
That's Z1079, man.
Right. So answer the question.
A non-playoff contending team with a losing record and an unproven quarterback. That's a bad team. Is that not a bad team? What are you laughing at? The Jets, the Lions, the first two teams that he said.
The Jets just had come out of nowhere.
The Jets or the Lions
more points than every other quarterback in the league through for 400 yards.
Here's the bet. If the Jets or the Lions sign Odell Beckham Jr., I'll shave my beard on this show next week.
Put Tracy's comment up here. She agrees with you. Tracy says I agree with Maddie because he wants to be the number one wide receiver. His ego. What does that have to do with a team that can pick him before anybody else can?
Because why would
if a team can claim him, that has nothing to do with what OBJ wants.
It does though. That's what you don't get about this whole last week. Everything has to do with what OBJ wants. And if he don't get what he wants, he gonna make your life hell, which he just did for Baker and Emily Mayfield.
So you're admitting that OBJ did this. Now you were blaming it on Odell on Baker. Now you admitting it was Odell. It was Odell's fault.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just said he'll make your life a living hell. You just said it. You said if he doesn't get what he wants, he'll make your life a living hell. You just said it was on Odell just now. Y'all got that on record,
Jesus
right?
Christ. I never blamed Baker Mayfield for Odell being disgruntled, other than the fact that I don't think Baker tried to make Odell a feature in the offense. That's the only thing that I'm saying. There's no denying that Odell forced him way out of Cleveland. I never spoke against that or said that he didn't do that.
All right, bro. I mean, I'm just saying, you just willingly admitted that Odell, when he's not the focal point of the offense, is going to make your life a living hell.
He did it twice. Well, what do you mean? I openly admitted it.
But you guys
everybody saw that. Are you eating? All right, we got to wrap up this show, man. What are you doing?
I'm eating a num num cookie from my girl Tiffany, who makes these. She said she shipped them to us, yo.
Num
num cookies.
Okay, well, she got to come on as a sponsor.
Well, maybe we can get a sponsor, but these are some damn good oatmeal raisin cookies. I'm gonna tell you that much. For real.
Oh man, listen. I tried to talk about next week for the last 15 minutes.
Come on, do it.
We're 30 minutes in. Next week we're in New England to take on the New England Patriots. Now
they won today, convincingly.
They are playing better than I would say a lot of people thought that they would be able to play this season with a rookie quarterback at the helm. But it's going to be a tough game. If the Browns force 2-3 turnovers and score points with their defense next week, then they should be able to roll them, because talent-wise, we should be able to beat just about any team in the league, especially any team that's floating around the middle of the pack. So I think that it's going to be a lot tougher game for Baker next week, but we'll see. We'll see. If I say anything bad about him, you're going to bring up Odell. So
I'm not.
I'm going to just say that I think
all I'm going to say is I was right.
Week, but it'll be nice to see. It should be a good one. I
was right.
You got it, bro. You got your num cookies. You got your clout for being right about Odell. You're oddly enough, you might not believe this, but oddly enough, you're the only person who thinks they were right about Odell. That was a joke because everybody in my comments and mentions thinks they were right about Odell, but it's all good.
Well, Tracy Cooper says, I want to acknowledge her comment. What she observed is that Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't get his way. He asked this grumble. That's kind of what you said. She agrees with you.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just don't see him going to a bad team. One, he's not even going to suit up and play for a bad team, man. He's just not.
Don't worry about that. We talked about that
he's
already.
not
Man,
gonna.
I don't want to send you back down that road, man.
Yeah,
I
man, you got my
know
blood
this is
pressure up.
I know it's a tough weekend for you, man. You're gonna need some.
It's not the
You're gonna need
Browns
some
won. I'm
woosah.
happy. No, it's
Yeah.
not the Browns won. I'm
Browns
happy.
won.
We got a chance
And
to probably get in the first place next week if we win next week, or
so
be up in there. So we'll see.
I'll say this about next week as far as the New England Patriots. To see what happens when you have a competent coach, it doesn't matter who's out there. You can't name me any of the New England Patriots receivers right now. Could you?
No, I can't.
Could you tell me?
Meyer, I think one dude's name is Meyer.
Yes, Myers. I have him on my fantasy team. And I also have Hunter Henry, the tight end, who's starting to pick things up. And the running back, Harris, has been having a great season under the radar. So, and the defense is starting to pick it up. Only reason I notice is because I carry them on one of my fantasy teams. So, what I'm saying is, you never know in this great NFL. The parody of this is so Kevin Stefanski, who I gotta give him credit. He called a good game today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give credit
Joe
where credit
Woods
is due.
too.
And Joe Woods, the defense came through when they needed to come through. When I needed to see Miles, I saw Miles. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When we needed players to step up, I could break my number 23 jersey out on the video when I make the song because number 23 showed off today. He had a great game, and that was Troy Hill, a free agent pickup from the Rams. So next week, another challenge. You going up against a great coach, and trust me, if anybody has studied the tendencies of the Cleveland Browns, it's him. And I think he'll have his team ready to go. We just need to be ready to play just like we played today against what people consider to be a great young quarterback. We got Mac Jones over here who ain't no slouch. And
He's
but
he is a rookie.
He is a rookie. And so if we were able to exploit Joe Burrow, I would think we should be able to do some damage to Mac Jones. But they're coached. You got a young coach over there, though, in Cincinnati versus what Bill Belichick, the type of game he's going to call. You know what I mean? So
Plus, I'll say this too.
Just keep believing in the Browns.
Listen, I just looked at the Patriots, who they've beaten. They ain't beat nobody, bro. All right. They beat the Jets twice, first of all. They beat the Chargers, who have been kind of slipping lately, and they beat the Panthers, who have fell off a cliff lately. So they are on a 3-game winning streak. They've won 4 out of their last 5. Oh, and they beat the Texans too. I think I mentioned that. So the Browns literally, talent-wise, may be the best team that they faced all year. And it is in New England, so you always got to have a little bit of cause for concern for those kinds of games because they're going to play solid defense. It's just going to depend on, what kind of production you get out of your quarterback, whether or not you can still be proficient with running the football on the ground, and whether or not your defense can force turnovers again. So they can do those things, and we should be just fine.
I'm sorry, Sam. So Sam tweeted earlier that LeBron tweeted in favor of the Browns at DPJ today as well.
I think he don't support Cleveland a lot, seemingly. You know what I'm saying? He's a Cowboys fan. He wears Cowboys jerseys and stuff. He wears Yankees caps and stuff like that. But he does seem to try to root for the Browns. But last week, I thought it was interesting when he posted that tweet on the behalf of his boy Odell, because it seemed like that was a little, I've been saying it all week. People like you have drawn a line in the sand, and you can only be an Odell fan or a Browns fan.
Not at all.
If you root for Odell, it's like you're rooting against the Browns. When all I want is everybody to be happy in unison. Man.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not that, man. Sure. My philosophy has always been that I'm rooting for the team. Okay. And if there's something that's not helping the team, then I don't root for that. So it's more of a general thing to me. It's not that I don't think Baker may see. I think guys were translating Baker not throwing the ball to Odell as Baker can't play quarterback, and so if you're not throwing the ball to Odell Beckham, that means you're not a good quarterback. This is what the narrative was turning into. You understand what I'm saying?
That's kind of
So,
how I felt, but it's a tweak on there that I'll say in a minute.
well, but what I'm saying is we've seen Baker be a good quarterback more than we've not seen him be a good quarterback. So I don't really understand where the the total jump off the cliff of Baker Mayfield came from. And then it was coming to a head with the whole situation with OBJ Sr. putting out these videos proving to everyone that he didn't throw the ball to Odell Beckham Jr. But I'm like, everybody else can get cachet when they've done something in the past. Most quarterbacks are, especially young ones, are measured by what they do in their careers. If they've gone to the playoffs and they've won a playoff game, they usually get a little cachet for that. You know what I'm saying? Baker seems to have no cachet here in this city, having won our first playoff game after
That's just not
18
true.
years. They're
That's just not
still,
true.
they were ready to go. How are you ready to go away from the best quarterback you've had? Whether he's the best quarterback in the league, that's not the
Ding,
argument.
ding, ding.
It's the best quarterback you've had.
Right.
After the amount of quarterbacks that have come through here and have tried, and the system hasn't worked out. You finally have a guy who you're winning with, and you lightweight want to run him out of town. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. And if Odell, for whatever reason, was causing Baker to not be able to play well, I'm sorry, Odell, you got to go. Because I need Baker to play
See how
well
we
more
came
than
back
I
to this?
need Odell to play well.
See how we came full circle? After you just said we're not talking about this no more, we about to wrap, okay? I hope you got your GTFOH ready. I'm pretty sure I know where it's going.
I'm about to rap about this
Yeah.
game.
Right. I know you are, man. Listen, I don't want to have another 20-minute conversation about Odell and Baker Mayfield. I'll respond to a couple of the things that you said. One, I think that, first of all, you saying that everybody wants to run Baker out of town is just false. There are more Baker supporters in this town than non-Baker supporters in this town. That's just a fact. Two,
I think it's about 50-50.
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But I'll say this, and this is just speaking on my thought process when it comes to measuring Baker Mayfield as a quarterback. You hit the nail on the head. He's the best we've had here since the Browns have restarted, right? I don't think there's anybody that can say anything other than he's the best quarterback the Browns have had since 2000 or whatever year it was when they came back to Cleveland. And because of that, I think we tend to think that he's better than he is, because when you watch other football games in the NFL and you see how other quarterbacks operate in clutch and pressure situations down the final couple of minutes of a football game, your team is down 3 points or 5 points or whatever it is, and you need to rely on your quarterback, not your running game, not your defense, to guide your football team down the field in 30 seconds, a minute or less, whatever it is. There isn't a lot of proof that Baker has been successful in those moments. And to get to where you want to go in terms of being a champion in this league and all of that, if you want to have a quarterback who you say is that dude who's up for a contract, everybody's getting $40 million a year, he wants $40 million a year. If he's gonna get $40 million a year, I need to be able to expect him down 2-3 points to the Chargers with 2 minutes left in the game to get a damn first down. That's all that I'm saying. Move the ball when everybody in the world knows you have to do it. You have to pass the ball to move us down to the other end of the field. You have to do it. Everybody knows you have to do it, so do it. Really, really good quarterbacks do it consistently. Baker, I haven't seen him do that consistently. Can he play with a lead? Sure. He's really good at playing with a lead. Can he guide you back to win the game in crunch time? I'm not positive just yet. So maybe he can. He's only 4 years into this career. Tom Brady's in year like 35 or whatever. So he's got a long time potentially to make these plays. Right now, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I feel you, Matt. You don't believe in Baker Mayfield. We
I
get it.
didn't say that.
All
I
right,
didn't-
Tracy Cooper said he's gone. Good luck to him. Hope it works out.
Exactly how I feel. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt.
But she said facts,
Called
Maddie. I
DJ
mean, I
Chaos.
don't. But here are the facts that you forgot. You know, the last time we played Cincinnati, we swept them last year, and it was a shootout between Baker Mayfield and Joe Burrow. Came down to it. Browns had to score with no time left. Baker game-winning touchdown to Donovan Peoples-Jones.
know.
But he never does that. In a game against the Baltimore Ravens, though, we did end up losing
One
the game.
instance in 4 years. Give me some more.
So we did end up losing the game against the
Give me
Baltimore
some
Ravens.
more instances.
When the Baltimore
That's
Ravens
one
took the
instance
lead. When the
in
Baltimore
4
Ravens took the
years.
lead, when the Baltimore Ravens took the lead in the back and forth epic game we had on Monday, was it Sunday night or Monday
Don't
night?
talk to me about no losses, bro.
Listen, man, I'm gonna talk to you about a loss because
Okay.
Baker Mayfield, when given the ball in a situation where he had to score in order for us to possibly win the game, he drove the team down and scored. Not only did he not throw a touchdown, he ran the ball in. So, and
Did
then
we
there was
win?
time, but Baker Mayfield can't control if the defense shuts it down. If the defense shuts it down and don't let them kick a game-winning field goal, then that's a game-winning touchdown drive for Baker Mayfield. All I'm saying is you got to look at the circumstances. You saying that he's never done this because
No, I didn't say he never did it. I said he doesn't do it consistently.
Well, dude, listen, he hasn't had to do it consistently. What I'm saying is we shouldn't have to do it. Why would I want to have to?
Well,
why would I want to have to go through that? Why would I want to have to go through that?
Tom Brady has to do it. Aaron Rodgers has to do it. Patrick Mahomes has to do it. All these other quarterbacks have to do it. Sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes you have to do it, though.
This is what I wanted to say about what you said. You said we look at all these other teams and their quarterbacks are out. I don't give a damn what these other teams are doing. I can only be concerned with how we go about winning. Right. Because how are we going to go about winning? I don't have to do it like them. I don't have to do it like him or whoever, whatever names you mentioned. I just have to do it like us. As long as it ends in a W, that's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not caught up on the infatuation of, oh, I wish I had one of these quarterbacks that can go out here and throw it for 400 yards. I don't wish for that. I wish for dubs. And however the dub can come, we get it. You know what I'm saying? 3 phases of the game, baby. It's not just about what the quarterback's going to do.
Examples came from last year. I got 2 examples from this year. Chargers, Steelers. Baker Mayfield, ball in his hand, down, needing a touchdown. He failed in both of those instances. I would like to see him not fail more consistently. That's all. That's my only point. And I'm not saying that Baker is not an average or above average quarterback.
That's why your English was all broke up.
Elite.
You couldn't even get it. Thank you, man. All right.
He's just not elite,
after this game,
that's my word.
This is the way you want the conversation to go after this game?
No, you drove the conversation here.
After a 41 to whatever. What
the
was
private chat.
41 to 16. You want to be dogging Baker Mayfield. Let's get on about
you drove me to this. We both of our GTFOHs go to Odell Beckham Jr. because he doesn't play for the Browns anymore. So he literally, figuratively, and any other way you can describe it, has gotten the F up on out of here. Is that where you were going with it? Did I get it right?
Look at what you're missing, bro. Odell, you know what I mean? Don't come in here trying to be the big man, man. It wasn't about you. That's all it was. It wasn't about Odell Beckham Jr. It's about the Cleveland Browns, man. All right. Y'all made it about Odell Beckham. You want to be sitting at the lunch table with the cool kids, man. I get y'all, man. I feel you.
All right.
But it ain't in it, you know what I'm saying? Get the out of here. That.
All right. Get us out of here, dog. You didn't check the private chat either, man. Our bosses was talking to us.
I know. I know. I did check the private chat earlier. That's why I brought up the what's the name. All right, 40 minutes.
Running your own routes like Odell, man.
Man, when you on your soliloquies, you need to think about a timer. All right. Anyway, we about to get on up out of here. We appreciate everybody that was commenting. All of our people are consistent. Tracy, Diane. Who else? Who else was in there, man? The Mystery Browns fan ain't come back. Tracy had a lot to say. So we'll see y'all next time when the Browns take on the New England Patriots. We'll be there for halftime and post game. Tell all your friends to come on and join us and leave their comments. For Matt and Matt Sports, I'm DJ Hazmat.
And I'm Maddie Wills. Peace.